herding, and we just drove by somebody who had been in a recent car accident, and there's no firefighters or police or paramedics here yet.
Another busy fire shift. It doesn't seem to matter how many calls we get. After those 24 hours, I'm always pretty tired, but I'm going to herd some sheep today. I'm going to go to our sheep herding lesson with my Border Collie Mac. Before I do that, to get some energy, I'm going to head to the gym. If I head to the gym right after work, it seems to energize me throughout the day. So I'll start my day there. Mac's actually my 9-year-old herding dog. I got him about a year ago. He's a started dog, so he was already had learned how to do sheep herding. He competed at an open level, but it really allowed me to learn more quickly about the sport. And while that may sound a little bit unusual, it's pretty common actually in the herding world for a dog, a started dog, to go to a novice handler or a new handler, because it's really challenging to work, to learn about the sport, to learn about how the stock moves, to learn about what the dog should be doing all at the same time. So I was given a really incredible opportunity by a lady to take Mac and train him. She was looking for an opportunity to actually work with sheep. So it ended up being a really great situation for both of us. I can't wait to introduce you guys to Mac, but first we're gonna head over to the Wren's tent sale. Wren's Pets Depot is where Kayla and I get all of our dogs' food supplies, or all of our dog supplies and our dog food from. They're incredible people, and we have a great partnership with them at McCann Dogs. See, there's all sorts of great stuff here at the Wren's tent sale, and we have instructor Steve. I don't know whether you can see these guys. You guys just introduce yourselves.
Hi guys, I'm Kim.
Hello, I'm Steve.
Hi, I'm Chris.
Which you guys probably know them all already, but just in case this is your first time with us, we want to make sure that you know who they were. But we're at the Wren's tent sale. I'm going to grab some food for Deegan while we're here. Here we are making our way through some of the food section. I think I see the right brand. Oh, there it is. This is the food for Deegan specifically. Now, this is neither a paid endorsement for, nor a sponsorship from, but this is what we feed Deegan. It seems to do really well for her stomach. So these tent sales are great. There's great prices on all the stuff. The only problem is that Wren's tent sales have gotten so popular because of all the good deals is that I've got to walk a long way back to my truck to drop the food off, especially if I'm carrying food. So hopefully our friends at Wren's will provide a shuttle feature or a shuttle bus of some kind, maybe even some sort of light rail system for the next tent sale. I'm looking directly at you, Scott Arsenault. That would be really great, and it would also save my shoulder for this. We had to put our 15-year-old Border Collie Slice down a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't thought about it much since the day that we had to take her to the vet. She was pretty sick at the end, but she lived an incredible life. She's a multiple-time world champion of dog agility. And, it just struck me that she's not with us anymore because she eats the same food Deegan does. And I thought on the drive home about how I may have bought too small a bag, but then I remembered that Slice was gone. So it's pretty amazing. It's a shame that dogs don't live longer. The hardest part about having dogs is when you have to do something like put them down. But she lived a pretty incredible life, and she'll be remembered fondly for sure. We're off to herding training with Mac. I'm looking forward to it. It's a little bit hot today, so I'm a little bit concerned about how he may overheat, get hot in a hurry, because he's a little guy and he's no spring chicken. Mac is 9 years old.
Yeah, but they do have lots of water pools and stuff for them there, so he can go lie down. So I think that'll be okay.
Yeah,
we'll watch him closely.
It's really interesting when some of the really competitive or very experienced sheep herding dogs and sheep herding handlers can send their dog to water. You know, on a command, you show the dog where the bucket or the barrel of water is, and they can send their dog to water like mid-course, which is really cool. So
yeah, I actually thought that was really weird. The very first big competition that I saw there, it was a timed event, and they had like 7 minutes or 8 minutes or something, and for like two and a half of those minutes, the handler sent the dog to the pool, and I was like, this is competitive, oh my god, you're running out of time. And then somebody had explained to me, well, it's no good if your dog gets overheated and they can't work. So it actually, those 2 minutes of them laying in the pool and like getting cooled down actually allows them to come back and work even better. And this one particular girl that I was like panicking about, I remember she penned the sheep after that, and so it was a good lesson for me to learn, because I had no idea that that's something that you could or should do in order for it to be a benefit. So we're just on our way to herding, and we just drove by somebody who had been in a recent car accident, and there's no firefighters or police or paramedics here yet, so we've pulled over to see if they're okay, since Ken obviously is a firefighter and paramedic, so she's gonna see if everything's okay. Ken just got back in the car. So what happened?
That's a pretty unusual scenario, but I guess the young fellow doesn't really remember a brief period of time before the accident, and he collided, rear-ended that transport truck, and I'm assuming at a pretty high rate of speed because of the damage to the front of his car. But again, that kind of thing doesn't happen every day, and certainly people pulling out doesn't happen every day.
There's people doing crazy things on the road now.
But you know, I'm officially off duty, but you're not always official. You know, you're never really officially.
No, certainly not something you can just drive by and hope that everything's okay, especially when nobody's arrived yet. So we just got to the lesson. Mac really wants to go to those sheep. So Ken uses the command "that'll do," which means basically, don't come off the sheep and stick with me until I give you further instructions. Look at him. Man, does he love this. So cool to see Border Collies working in their natural craft. It's amazing. Hopefully I get some good shots today. We packed the drone. So, summarize your herding lesson for us.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Mac got an opportunity to shed some sheep, where he split the sheep down the middle and you know, get one or two or half or however many out from the flock.
Your videographer got that on tape for you today.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I'm always amazed, you know, he's so good, and I'm learning as we go along, but it really helps that he's so good at what he does. So I thought had a great lesson, and I'm excited to watch the footage after.
Yeah, he did awesome today. We are heading back to back to our house to get the dogs, and we're going to go to my parents for the night. They just got back from Florida, and we're going to take their dogs home. We were taking care of them for the week, and hopefully we'll get some dinner, eh, hon?
Yes.
Out of it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's my favorite part about my parents coming home is that Mommy makes us dinner.
Yeah, it's always good.
Yeah, it is always good.
Well, we'll wind up today with a nice long walk with the dogs on the McCann property. We know the dogs definitely love it, and we had lots of action and adventure today, so all in all, a pretty good day.
I would agree.
Yeah, definitely. So if this is your first time with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. And now for the obligatory walk off into the sunset. Until we see you tomorrow, happy training. Bye for now.